I'll never forget, I went over to Cairo, Egypt. Down in Jerusalem, some preachers asked me, said, would you go to Cairo and preach over Sunday? And I said, yes, I'll be glad to. I didn't know what kind of a church I was going to, nor who the pastor of the church was. All I had was the address. When I got to Cairo, Egypt, I was taken out to a small church. The congregation was small. I imagine there was somewhere around 50, maybe 60, maybe 75 people in the building. Down through the center of the building was a wall, and on one side sit the women, on the other side sit the men. Now I'll never forget, I began to preach on divine healing, and the interpreter from Columbia University began to interpret what I was saying in the Egyptian language. And I preached on healing, and Jesus that could heal and open the eyes of the blind and cause the lame to walk. And I noticed one man would get up and go out of the church, and pretty soon 17 or 18 more people had come in. Finally, a woman would get up and leave the church, and 15 or 16 more would come in, and maybe 20 would come in and sit down. And the church kept filling up, and I finally turned to the interpreter, and I said, where are they all coming from? He said, it's what you're preaching on. Said, you're preaching a Jesus that can heal, and said, these people are getting up and going out on the street and finding more people and bringing them into the church. Finally, the church was packed and jammed with people, and people sitting on the floor and all up and down the aisles.